Hello, everybody. Welcome to the WildStar live stream. This week, I am Deirdre D.D. Hollis, and I am your community manager for WildStar. I'm sitting here this week with some special guests. Our monitor on the other side is backwards, so I keep on wanting to say who's sitting here and then who's sitting here, and they're the opposite. Anyway, I'm here with Stephen Engle, also known as Meerkat, on the forums and all social. Actually, not all social, because on Twitter he's Stephen Engle. But he's our lead combat systems designer. I'm also here with Tom Cassera. Many of you haven't seen him in a while, but he's all over the forums, he's all over Reddit and all of these places. He's our game designer. And we're going to be talking about some super fun things today. Why don't you guys, besides just waving, say hi and give a little bit about yourselves and what you're currently working, well, not currently working on, but what you're working on as it pertains to our live stream.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll go first. I'm Tom Cassera. I have kind of duo responsibilities. Some of you know me from working on the Dungeons and Raids. About a year ago, I was also switched over to PvP to handle that stuff. For the most part, I've just been doing maintenance, fixing bugs, doing updates and stuff like that. But today, we're here to show off something that people have been asking for a really, really long time, and that is a rework of the Halls of the Bloodsworn Battleground. That's what I have for me. Yeah, not really much to that. How about you, Stephen?
Yes, Stephen, how about you?
What have I been doing? So what we've been trying to do is, with the transition of PvP servers and all that's going on, is improve the PvP in the open world and try to create a reason to go back out into the open world. And we've got some quests and some bonuses attached to flagging and doing things in the open world to help encourage it. And we're going to continue to we're going to use this to monitor and see if we can find better quest styles or maybe even expand it out into other areas to try to encourage people to flag and get that going.
Enjoy some PvP and stuff like that. In addition to that, I know many of you have expressed some concerns, and Stephen's been on the forums answering those questions, but many of you don't frequent the forums, and that's fine. We'll go ahead and let you know right here. There are some concerns about like healer classes flagging themselves for PvP. What we're doing is we're actively working on that, but I'm here to let you know that that after Arcterra launches, it'll be a little bit after that that those fixes will go into effect. Can you give us a little bit of information about what you're doing to try to mitigate their concern there in that? I know that you've already answered a bunch of questions.
It's there's a few edge cases that we were trying to figure out, but I think we're just going with a general rule of you can't target a person while they're flagged.
Correct.
Like spells just don't target that person, so there's no incidental flagging from that. And I think that's what we're going to roll out with at the beginning. And as things crop up, should they crop up, then we'll address them as they come.
Absolutely.
But we thought the best thing is to just go. No incidental things. You have to be very explicit if you want to PvP flag and be involved. And then we'll just try to work on improving the experience of PvP so you want to do it.
Exactly. And we'll again, a lot of concerns are there, and they're on our side as well. We don't want to make a negative player experience, especially for our PvE folks. As we continue to migrate our PvP players over to that. As far as when this is happening, we're still in discussions, but those of you who have gone to the forums and also gone to our site have read the news post about our plans for the future for PvP in regards to the state of the game and how we're going to do that. And there it all is right there in blue and black. And I love our website. I really do. Anyway, I got distracted. So Maggie's showing it off. So that's that. If you haven't read any of that stuff, please go there. If you still have feedback, you still have concerns, please go ahead and go to the forums. We're trying to respond as best we can. But one thing that helps us so that we're not continuing to repeat the things that we're already saying is I'm noticing on the forums a lot more threads creeping up about the same exact question, just go to the dev tracker and scroll through that, and you're going to see Steven in there. You're going to see a bunch of devs in there answering those questions in different places. We try to keep the forums clean and free of just spammed threads like that. So and it helps us out. It helps me out specifically. If you read the dev tracker first to make sure you understand what we're saying and where we're at with it. If you still have questions, please go by all means ask, and we'll try to answer them. But that's that. In addition to that, just a quick thing, follow us on all our social channels, Facebook, Twitter, go to Reddit. We try to hang out there as well. Speaking of state of the game and where we're at, you mentioned Halls of the Bloodsworn.
Correct.
Yes. What is it? What's going on? Give us a little bit of
Sure.
what's going on?
So for those of you who don't know what Halls of the Bloodsworn is, it is one of our 3 battlegrounds, and previously it wasn't very well liked very much. So what we did recently is we took a look at it, we went through all the things that people didn't like, we took some of the feedback, we adjusted it a little bit, and we're actually going to be playing that today, so you guys will be able to see what it looks like. It's on PTR right now, so if you want to take a look for yourself, feel free to hop in there.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to jump into that, right?
Yeah, we're going to be jumping in that. But before we do that, we have some special guests. We're going to go ahead and make sure that we can hear them and everything is awesome. Today we are joined by special guilds, Cupcakes and Utopia. They're going to help us today as we show off our Halls of the Bloodsworn revamp and everything, and they're going to get into the game with us, and they're going to be there. But in the meantime, Cupcakes and Utopia, can you guys hear us?
Yep.
Cool.
Hey guys.
Why don't you give us
Hello,
a little
everyone.
bit of background and introduce yourselves?
I guess I should go first. Reigns, and some of you might have seen my stream on Twitch. I'm leader of Cupcakes. We started as a guild on Lumini, which is the EU server. Just recently, we have slowly moved to Jet because, with the server merge and everything, it's just a better place for, for everyone for right now. Apart from that, you can check us out. Check out my stream. We are always recruiting. We were starting to lose a little bit of, a few people on Lumin. We're still trying to rebuild. Sorry about the cat, by the way, but yeah. That sucks.
And hello, I'm Koetsi from Utopia. We're mainly a PvE guild, and we like to do some PvP. And we are also recruiting. And you can find us on site, utopia.top. That's it.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Maggie, when we do our Q&A, could you please pump up the volume on them so we can hear them a little bit more? You guys are totally invited to go ahead and ask questions of the devs here, and we will do our best to answer anything that we can. As usual, I always have my little, precursor statement with we can't always answer everything. But we can answer a lot of things.
You can kind of assume the answer is going to be 42.
Yeah, actually, that's like a given on any question ever, because the answer will always be 42. For those of you nerds out there who understand that, kudos to you. I'm one of you, one of me. We're together.
We're together.
We're together.
That's what she's trying
We're
to say.
a union. So let's go ahead and get into some gameplay. Let's see what's going on. Steven's going to go ahead and join the fight, which apparently he's already joined without knowing that he joined it.
Whoa. I'm in.
Okay.
I'm queuing.
Okay. All right.
We good.
Awesome.
Make sure you tell them what you need them to do as well.
Yeah. So guys, or our Cupcakes and Utopia, if you guys want to go ahead and queue in to Halls of the Bloodsworn Battleground, I like the name of it, Halls of the Bloodsworn Reloaded.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Oh no.
So I want everybody to know I intentionally made a terrible build
Yeah.
to see what it's all
Is
about.
that the excuse you're going with this time?
Yeah,
intentionally.
intentionally.
Okay, all right.
Intentional.
Well, I'm trying something new because
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
All right.
Wah wah.
Wait, so who is this so we can find you in the Battleground?
This is Meerkat.
Meerkat.
Yeah.
This is Hildigan.
Good luck.
Okay.
Well, hold on. wait a minute.
Yeah, let's focus him.
If I played, it would have just been unfair, all right?
Everyone.
Yeah.
For everyone.
Yeah.
It could have been like 1 versus all of you, and it would have been fine.
So what are the things that have been revamped in Halls of the Bloodsworn?
Sure.
Reloaded.
So first, a little disclaimer. It is on PTR, so there's still a couple of issues with it. Some of those issues you might see today are already fixed on dev, and they will be coming with the next patch cycle. But let's go over what's new. So the first major change that happened is, for those of you who remember, on the side points, there used to be 2 panels that you could activate. And then whichever team activated those panels currently gained control of it. That is gone completely. From what we understood of all the feedback, that was the thing that the people disliked the most. So we got rid of that. What we replaced that with was pretty much another central node. So now there are 3 primary capture points in each room. Now, since we're talking about rooms, that is another major thing that changed. Instead of there being an attacker, defender kind of phase going on, and then you switch and whoever does it fastest wins, that is also gone. The way it works now is kind of like how rounds work in a lot of fighting games, where each room is a separate round, and both teams are fighting for the points at the same time. So if you look at the top of the screen there, you'll see 2 meters that are kind of filling up. Those represent each team's victory points. The way you obtain victory points is by controlling the primary control points. For each control point that you own, you will gain victory points faster. And pretty much that repeats every round. The first team to win 2 rounds wins the match. One of the things that's missing right now is a timer. Don't worry, there will be one, so the matches don't go on indefinitely. Now, when we first added this, we were like, oh, three points, you know, that's nice, but it's also kind of boring. So we slipped in kind of a little gotcha there, and it might be a little hard to see just from watching them play, but attached to each of the primary points are 3 panels. These work very differently than the panels did before, so if there's some of you who hear panels and get like flashbacks, don't worry about it, it's different. The way these work is each control point is assigned a panel. Every, I think it's like 20 seconds or so, one of these panels will randomly activate. Whichever team manages to activate that panel gets a burst of victory points and will do a blast back AoE that does a lot of damage on that associated control point. So if you find that your team is a little bit behind and you might be struggling a little bit, being able to fight over these is kind of like a nice equalizer mechanic that can help you come back. And from working on the raids, we learned that getting blasted back and flying into the air is really fun, and we wanted to show a little bit of that love to our PvPers.
Excellent.
That's pretty much the gist of it. I'm sorry if I talked really quick. Feel free to ask questions, even if it's something we went over already. I'm happy to elaborate on that further.
Excellent, excellent. Well, this is actually pretty cool in looking at it right now and looking at Meerkat lose for the team.
Whoa.
He is on. Well,
Whoa.
look at it. I mean, the enemy team is like exponentially higher in percentage right now.
Well, I don't know if 30 is exponentially.
Well, work with me here, man.
All right,
Come on.
all right.
It's all about trolling Meerkat here. So
That's true. It's all about trolling me.
how many? Now the player, as far as the player cap, hasn't changed. It's still the same
Correct.
amount of players.
Yes, it is still 10v10.
Yep, 10v10. And are there any other points and goals, any new achievements that we need to watch out for with the whole entire revamp and reloaded? Anything that you can tell us about any of that?
So there's no achievements for the most part. We're going to try and reuse the existing stuff. The achievements for winning are just going to straight up carry over. And the achievement for owning the secondary control points, it's not hooked up right now, but we're probably just going to reuse those and hook up to the panel. So there's nothing new. You guys don't have to worry about any like weird things transferring to Galactic Hotshot achievements. I'm trying to make everything just transfer over as smoothly as possible. So the only thing you guys have to worry about is just the new gameplay experience.
Excellent, excellent. And then in regards to like rated arenas and stuff like that, can you tell us a little bit about that with Halls of the Bloodsworn? Is it, you know, something that...
Basically, as far as rated battlegrounds go, it's going to function exactly as it was before.
Cool.
Nothing along there is going to change. While you're leveling, it's unrated. As soon as you hit 50, it becomes rated, and
Excellent.
just as it was before. Same old,
Cool
same
deal.
old.
So yeah, no change there.
Yep.
Let's see. Do we want to take any questions, Maggie? Are there questions from anyone? our PvP guild if they
Yeah.
can pay attention.
We have a couple
because I know that they're
Oh,
both
we
of our
are.
guilds are
We
in
are.
there.
Oh.
We have a couple of
Do you
questions
see him? He
from,
just pulled me down.
we have a couple of questions from chat, but if the
Should I
guild
bring
that's
world
available would like to do any
PvP into the
questions.
conversation? Not yet.
Enemy team, be bros.
I want to know if they can talk about world PvP.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
talk
go
about
for
World
it.
PvP. We're having a hard time hearing them.
Yeah.
So sorry about that.
How about the world PvP incentives? I know some of them were introduced, just recently with the prestige on the world kills on mobs when you flag yourself for PvP. Is there anything else, or?
For the flagging bonus, right now it's a slow trickle of prestige and currency. We want to kind of see what that, how that plays out before we start adding more things to it. But I don't know if it's going to be for flagging or if it's if we're going to look more towards actually trying to incentivize killing people more as well. We're still trying to figure where we want to go on that. That was awesome. Sorry. I can't play and talk at the same time. I apologize.
He can. He just sucks at it.
Well, that's your problem.
Sorry. Listen, I just call it as I see it.
Continue here trying
Yeah.
and ask questions.
Ask away. Ask
Yeah, go
questions,
for it.
please.
What about any cosmetic or world PvP, maybe to make it more appealing to people? On that now that we're all PvE servers. Have you thought about that?
I did not
Did
hear
Yeah,
that.
that cut
Yeah.
out. Who was that? Is that Reigns?
Yeah, sorry, can you guys hear me?
Rains. Rains, can you repeat your question?
Yes. Yes, can you hear me now? Can you hear me well?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Yeah.
What about the any maybe world PvP incentives so that people can maybe flag them more often? Things like cosmetic rewards for world PvP. I guess that's the first part of the question.
Yeah, we can definitely look into that. I think, we could possibly, depending upon how we do it, we can possibly do some things in the future that would incentivize that. Right now, we really just have the incentives for arenas and whatnot. But depending on the popularity and how things are going, I could definitely see at least some time-based stuff and not so much performance-based stuff going into World PvP. I think that's going to be that could be pretty rewarding. So yeah, no, that's a good idea. We just need to figure out what we want to do with something like that too.
Yeah, I think for us right now we're moving in phases, and so our first incentive internally is to make sure that what we're doing in merging PvP into PvE works for both our PvE players and our PvP players. So we want to make sure that we're looking at that, we're testing it, we're seeing how where we need to improve versus the different and how it's going to work before we move into larger initiatives like your suggestion. That being said, those suggestions are freaking awesome and I love them. And I am actually keeping a list of player suggestions from the forums that I get from the forums. So those of you who have them, please go ahead and make sure that you're going to the forums, you're putting in your suggestions. We've had like 3 different threads on large threads on different kind of player suggested incentives for World PvP and Open World PvP. So continue to do that because that's how we can make the game better for you. We can't always do all of the things just due to the way our tech is compared to our software and platform, etc. But there are many things that we can do, and we'd like to start moving in that direction. But again, everything is in a phase, so you might not see some of these things happen, right away. you know,
Yeah.
nice smile. Is that the?
Did you win?
Did you?
Well,
Oh, of course
That was a
not.
trick question. We already knew that.
We knew. So.
I'm gonna keep queuing.
Yeah.
Because why not?
So thanks, Reigns, for that question. Anybody else
If we
have
are-
questions for us?
Yeah, if we are with open world PvP, there is an issue, at least I see it and many players see it like that, that if someone is flagged and I'm a healer and I heal him, I am at least flagged as well. And well, wouldn't it be to just not be possible to heal flagged player if you are not flagged?
It's basically if you're flagged and you heal somebody who's not flagged, now they're flagged or something like that.
Right.
No. Somebody is flagged and I'm not flagged and healing him.
Oh, not flagged and then healing.
Right. Okay, so this is a known issue that we are discussing internally on how we can go ahead and do this, and Steven can answer it because he's answered this question a few times.
Yeah, no, so we're to
Sorry.
take the approach of that if you are unflagged and that person is flagged, you cannot target that person with a heal unless you flag yourself first. That way there's no chance of incidental healing, and you don't get the opposite effect if we took another stance on it and be able to heal somebody that is PvP flagged without flagging yourself. So right now, what's going to happen in the future, it's not going to happen immediately, but when you flag, you won't be able to be targeted from heals from non-flagged players.
Okay. And there was also another question. Does this go in regards to healers in raids having to flag themselves in order to heal? That's basically what we're talking about, right?
Yeah. I haven't checked with our resident PvP engineer, but he was actually looking into that.
Okay.
And I'll double check with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are definitely things that we are looking at, we're scrutinizing and making sure that we do the right thing for our players in addition to how the mechanics of the game work. Let's see. Any other questions?
Yes,
Oh,
I
man,
have
I'm
a
on
question in
Steven's
regards to
Hey.
You guys want to see a loss?
Warplots?
Because it's about to happen.
They're gonna ask it. They're asking the question.
Okay.
Oh.
So about Warplots, we really like to do them, but it's been very hard to get a Warplot going, and we feel like there is incentive to do them. So the question is, will we change it in the future?
It's about Warplots. So right now, with Warplots, our goal is to, well, first get PvP in a better place, and then be able to tackle Warplots and make some adjustments to make them a little more fun to queue into. But right now, our big focus is on the immediate needs.
Correct.
Of let's get open world feeling better. Let's
Yeah.
get it in a better spot so more people want to PvP.
We have a list of things that we work on internally according to immediate need, and Warplots is on that list.
Yep.
But it's, not something that we're working on immediately in regards to our PvP, and especially like with the server merge and all of that. So it's not that it's not important at all. It is certainly important to us because it's a game mechanic that we designed the game to have, and we want it and we love it, and there's a certain amount of work that went into Warplots that we want to continue to make sure that we invest in, but again, it just is a little bit lower on the list compared to our immediate needs of making sure that PvP works on these PvE servers. Anybody else? Any questions?
You're answering these way better than I
Yeah,
am.
I agree.
Well,
Like,
thank
why am
you
I here?
guys.
I really like the way this is going.
I feel like I'm just here to get slaughtered.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing: is like we each have our roles in the company, and mine is to be able to translate to community, and yours is to be able to translate to devs, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, there
What
you go.
You said.
that thing.
Yes.
Okay, so now what class are you playing, Tom?
I am playing an Esper, and I'm trying to be as disruptive as possible, and it is not working very well.
No, you just died.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
A little bit inside, too.
oh.
Yeah.
Try not to talk about stuff they can't see.
Okay. Ah, there you go. I forgot you guys can't see what Tom's playing.
It's probably for the better.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought you were gonna 1v20 everyone.
Well, I mean, not with you there.
That's impossible.
Yeah.
That's true.
I believe in golf, that's what they call a handicap.
Oh. Snap.
Yeah. I say that like I know anything
wait.
about golf.
I kind of don't want to be between you two right now because I'm like, eh.
It's probably better that you are. I don't think I can afford to be strangled at this point in my life right now.
Oh, you guys are
I'm too
awesome.
young and beautiful.
Just a reminder, we are here
I'll agree, you're young.
with a couple of really awesome guilds. We're playing the Halls of the Bloodsworn Reloaded for those of you who just joined us, or joined us during a time when you're like wondering what the heck is going on. We are running with two wonderful guilds who have volunteered their time and resources, Cupcakes and Utopia. Both are in Halls of the Bloodsworn trying to keep Steven and Tom alive. And I don't think they're trying very hard, and
doesn't
that's
feel that
okay.
way.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Hey Tom, kill Revan. I've seen that name before.
In addition, we are taking questions both from our Twitch community, so within the chat. We're also taking questions from Cupcakes and Utopia. So we've answered a few questions so far. We're talking about Halls of the Bloodsworn. We're talking about PvP, especially the fact that PvP has now been merged on, or will be merged very shortly, onto our PvE servers. We are merging those PvP servers onto our PvE servers. Sorry, I misspoke there. And we're also talking about gameplay, what's going on, and that. So any questions, let us know. We're here to answer. If you don't have a question that you'd like to answer here and you'd rather just put it on the forums or on Reddit, please do so. We also frequent those places as well.
Oh, I have a
Yes.
million questions. All right. I think that's a question by itself.
No.
Cutting out. Always cutting out.
You're cutting out. I'm sorry.
What's cutting out?
He was cutting out.
He's
Yeah.
cutting out.
Yeah.
Let me see who it is.
Okay, can you...
Just repeat your question.
They can type
Yeah,
their
repeat the
questions in,
question.
My
the
question
Discord
is
chat.
one word only. Is leaderboards.
Oh, leaderboards.
Mm-hmm.
For arenas?
I believe that would be leaderboards for arenas.
I didn't catch the question, I'm sorry.
Can you repeat that, Reigns?
Leaderboards.
Oh, so just the
question.
word leaderboards?
Yeah.
Oh, so, okay, what about
The
leaderboards?
question is there going to be leaderboards? Is there going to be
Leaderboards.
leaderboards, better ones? That's pretty much it.
That,
When
I
are we
mean,
getting
that
to
is our desire to get better in. I am not sure when that will happen, but it is our desire to eventually have those leaderboards in and not manually update things on the forums. Yes.
Yeah, that
Can't
was,
tell you when, but we all want leaderboards.
We know it's been a long time coming, and it's been something that we've been working on for the last at least year, trying to make happen. We've compiled information, and information has been on the forums. We would love to have it on web. That is something when we redesigned the web that was a request to do, and so that is something that we're still working on. So that will happen. Again, though, like, Warplots, it's on the list. It's just been moved back a little bit to prioritize other things, and it will come back again as we have time and can make that happen successfully.
Tom, I feel like you failed us this match.
Probably. Yeah, that's generally a running trend in my life.
But I'm just saying that because.
Okay, what about?
I'm sorry, go ahead. Oh, okay. So to remind everyone where we're at and where we're playing, we're currently playing on the PTR. The PTR is up for a little while as we continue to test all of our content for Arctera. You can play through Arctera. You can enjoy everything that is Arctera right now. Last week we had Red Moon Terror on, and for those of you that don't know, we took it down to implement your feedback, and we will hopefully soon bring it up again so that we can continue to get your feedback and you can test that for us. We don't have an ETA for that, but the content that is on the PTR still needs testing, and we still need you to give your feedback about it. We also want feedback on Halls of the Bloodsworn. Yep. Tom is ever courageous about making this thing a reality, and so he needs all of the feedback that he can get in order to address the issues that are concerns for you, as well as making Halls of Bloodsworn work.
Can I say something?
No,
But
not at all.
not to detract from all the good that you do.
I
Okay.
liked this. Like, I was on a roll of being complimented. It was really nice.
No,
I
it's
felt
not about
appreciated.
you. It's more about
not
she
about
mentioned Arctera is on PTR.
Yes.
We will be pushing updates to the creature difficulties
Oh, yes.
at some point soon. We're still testing them internally, but that is coming. I know that like everybody's like
That is,
it's a really big issue. And
basically,
we
a
are
lot
doing
of our
it.
feedback that has come through is that Arctera is too easy. And so that's the point of PTR, is to test these things so that way when we, as we patch each time, and we just recently had a patch to PTR, we can go ahead and play with those algorithms a little bit to make sure that the next time we do it, you can test it. If it's too hard, you let us know. And then we find the middle ground that makes it fun to play, as opposed to too easy or too hard.
Make sure we bring it back to PvP. I also have a ton of questions in chat, so if you ever would like any of those, just let me know.
Yeah,
go
we
for it.
would love those, actually.
Okay, so the first question we have is from Big Damn Heroes, and they would like to know,
Yay!
with the PvP server merges, can we buy more than 14 total slots so we can delete/recreate if we're over the 14 limit post-merge?
I think that it will still continue to work as it is currently. So you can delete characters, or as characters are deleted, I mean, those slots would remove. So it's going to work exactly as it is now with the MTX and purchasable slots, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If there is any issue that arises from that, we will go ahead and assess it through feedback and make sure that we, fix it accordingly. So that. More questions.
Preface, like, who you want the questions from, so that they know that they can ask questions.
Yeah, we are taking questions from our PvP guilds, Cupcakes and Utopia. We're also taking questions from chat. So please continue to give them to us.
So how about tutorials for Battleground? Is that something you guys are thinking about? I think that might bring some of the newer players, or make some of the newer players join more Battlegrounds. And another thing along with that is, are there any plans to bring the whole queue level 15 to one queue for everyone, so that sub 50 players can be in the same group?
I can definitely answer to the queue issue. I know that we've been talking about it. The big discussion is Amp's ability points and the discrepancy of power, even if we scale them up. And do we want to send those people to their slaughter? And how can we do it if we want to, while still protecting them and making it a good experience for the person that's not at cap or close to cap? That's kind of what we're trying to figure out before we just try to all 1 through 49 are in one queue, or all 1 through 50 are in one queue, and do that, because we want to protect the players that are not at cap and want to just have fun while still keeping the queue healthy. So
How would that work for min-maxing and stuff? I know that a lot of players like to do that. Would that, be something that they could do if we continue to go ahead and do, level caps on those?
it's I mean, the major problem is that the ability system and amps are just decoupled
Got it.
from everything. Well, it's not decoupled from level, but it's decoupled from everything that we can adjust right now within there. And we have no good way of actually letting them modify it
Got
and
it.
save a temporary loadout. So
Would that be something that we could at least look at in the future, or is it not possible?
it's very possible.
Okay.
I am not an engineer, so like I can't speak to that, but
It has been talked about.
it has been talked about.
Okay, cool. That's nice to know. Because I know that, like, when I PvP'd back in my old PvP days, that was, like, one thing that my homies and I loved to do. The people I rolled with.
Sorry.
Homies?
Your
homies.
homies.
Yeah?
Yeah,
sorry.
that's how we roll, man.
I-
We min-max.
Did you guys roll in a Gizild?
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am very uncomfortable right now.
You should be.
Yeah. That's hard to do. That's really hard to do. Steven can attest that. That's really, really
That
hard
is
to do.
really hard.
Difficult. Okay, so we're taking questions from not only our live stream chat, but we're also taking questions from our 2 guilds who are helping us show off Halls of the Bloodsworn.
I mean, like, ask me specifically if you want a question for chat. Or
Maggie, I would like a question from chat,
That way, like,
please.
it's not confusing for the
Yeah.
All right, so the next question from chat is from Fixion, and they would like to know, how will players earn the PvP artifacts that were data mined? So I don't know. I guess the first thing is are those artifacts just rumors, or do you have any comments?
So
on
I
that?
mean, I think it's also a labeling issue.
Yeah.
That like they weren't actual artifacts. It's just they use that for a quality, and they will eventually probably be part of Arena Awards. I believe is the
Okay.
current plan. I don't know if we'll ever put in other avenues of getting it, but that was the initial plan.
Yeah. Cool deal. Any other questions from chat?
Oh, there's tons.
Let's take another question from chat, Maggie.
Yes, please, Maggie.
I got this. I can.
I'd say, like, if you can alternate, that'd be good.
Oh, okay.
But I can take another one.
All
I'm
right.
too busy killing them. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I just want to make sure it's fair for both, for like, the guilds that are helping us as well as the chat. So our next question is from Nasir1991, and they want to know, what are you going to do in terms of balancing classes in PvP Season 2? And I'll just leave it at that.
I mean, balance isn't. I mean, it's really an ongoing thing, and my guys are constantly trying to figure out how to keep them both balanced in both PvP and PvP. It's an ongoing thing, and as problems arise, they try to tackle it. I don't have a better, because I can't say we're absolutely doing this,
Yeah.
and we're doing that.
Because I'm
the-
sitting here telling you that you can't do that.
because you're sitting here telling me that, but it's partly like, you're all constantly battling perception and metrics, and you have to do your best to balance that out, and we're trying to do that, and we'll hit the mark 99% of the time.
99%. There are times, we try to hit the mark and we maybe come under 9. It's probably like 97%. But yeah, that is the thing, is like there's a lot of people that definitely feel like they're underpowered, or they're missing some things, or they're harder to play. And I'm not saying that they're wrong, but as Steven said, we have to find that balance, that middle ground between how they perceive their character being played and how it feels to them versus what it's showing us in data. That's what development's all about, is we look at the data and we view it, and then we can make adjustments based on both. So that. How about our guilds, Cupcakes and Utopia? You guys have any questions?
When you mentioned min-maxing, just a quick thing, and this will go back to World PvP for a second, but just a quick thing on min-maxing. What about one-on-ones and duels in in the world, and PvE class sets and PvE gear that affect those. Are they to change that, to normalize that?
In the 1v1s, when you do it, to normalize it. So that's a little bit harder. I mean, we can discuss it. It's kind of funny because we kind of had a talk about it, and I guess my preference is if we wanted to do that properly, we would probably have to set up a dueling zone, because trying to trigger it off of a dual flag gets a little tricky. So it's kind of funny that you mentioned 1v1s because we were talking about it recently, and as something that maybe in the future we would look into, and not necessarily in a manner of I click and say duel, but I click and now you go to an instance that everything is normalized in.
Yeah.
Oh, people are killing me. I look over for a second. You guys are dirty.
I have a question about
There was someone
arenas.
else who had a question. Yeah.
Quiet's got a question.
Got it. We're listening. Go ahead.
You really incentivize playing 3v3 arena and not 2v2 and 5v5. Do you have any things in the future to change it?
I'm sorry.
He was asking about incentives for arenas other than 3v3s. Is that correct?
Yeah, 2v2 and 5v5.
I think still at this time we don't really want to incentivize 5v5, and that's partly because the requirements for how many people you need to do that. It's it lessens the pool of actual teams that can actually can compete in that area, and leaves us open for the negatives that we see on the forums all the time with win trading and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it makes it easier. So we don't really want to do that. 2v2, we're still definitely on the fence because it's a very polarized thing, the 2v2 scene, and I don't think that meta is a good one to reward off of. So right now, we're probably going to keep 3v3s, and we can look as the PvP community grows, maybe incentivizing other areas, and including some other ways to PvP as well.
Excellent.
Did Tom, do you like that answer?
I did. I was
Okay.
nodding my head.
Do you want to add to that answer in any way, shape, or form? No? Okay, cool.
Not particularly. no.
Am I allowed to queue? Can I keep queuing?
Yeah, keep going.
Maggie,
Okay.
can we take some questions from our Twitch chat?
Sure. Our next question is, with the new incentives to turn on the PvP flag, is the intent for players to be wearing PvP stated gear while out questing?
Repeat that question?
So the intent is, with that, it's still your choice. I'm not going to tell you the intent is to go one way or the other. The intent is for you to go out, and if PvP happens, you either like your choice or you hate yourself for not gearing a different way. Now, what we will do in the future, we're looking at ways to protecting people when the gear's too out of whack. But other than that, if you are wearing PvE because you want a slight advantage killing the NPCs, and somebody comes out with PvP gear and just thrashes you, sorry, it's PvP. I'm not going to say that, oh yeah, we intend you to do this. I intend you to play the way you want to play, and then as things happen, we adjust it whether or not it's working.
So would you say that it would be wise to take your environment into consideration when you're going out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. If I know that there's there's 20 scummy exiles when I'm out there.
Listen, come on now.
I'm playing in exile, but I normally play Dominion. But
You get that we are all exiles.
but yeah, when I'm out there and I know that there's people out there, I'll probably throw on PvP gear. Once we make sure everything's all on a fairly level playing field. So yeah,
You are aware that you're talking with 2 XL guilds, right?
Now we just forgot about the points and chase him in the PvP.
Oh no.
I'd be a little disappointed if you weren't already doing that.
Yeah, I mean, who cares about
Oh man,
actually
they weren't
winning?
kidding.
Just like,
They
look at that.
All middle.
look at
Yeah.
that.
It's actually kind of beautiful.
Hey guys, I got you. I'm in the middle. Why am I not getting heals? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, but
I'm
you're
getting
certainly
healed.
getting hit.
Yeah. From
They're
every which way.
PvPers. They'd rather win than mess me up.
Or grief you. No, if I were a PvPer right now in there, I'd be totally targeting
Well, my team's
you.
not gonna
That's just a
grief me.
personal win, Sometimes you got to take the
They
personal
can
wins.
grief you though, if they wanted to.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of green circles though, so you're good.
He's still alive. You guys are letting
Yeah.
me down right now.
Yeah.
This is a disgrace.
Man.
Wait! I charged in yelling for the Dominion, right?
You did. You did. Okay, more questions. How about from our guilds?
I've got a really big Chua.
Wait, what?
I'm playing a Granhog.
Okay, questions
Thank
from Twitch chat.
Sure. Our next question is from B-Pulse, and I'm going to kind of reword it a little bit to
Okay.
make it.
Is
it's
it
basically,
B-Pulse?
Yeah.
yeah.
Hi, B-Pulse.
Hi, B-Pulse.
B-Pulse would like to know, will we ever get bounties on players?
Ooh, that's a really great idea. I don't. It has been. That actually has been
It has been talked
It
about.
has been talked about.
Yes.
definitely internally, but it's not made a ton of traction yet internally. I think we're just focused on other things at the moment, but we are definitely. That is a really great idea. Yeah. I like it. I don't. Honestly, I'm not saying no, we're not going to do it, but I just don't see it being as something that we completely latch onto. There is, especially with the way that we're moving our PvP servers into our PvE, what that does is it puts an element of grief onto players, and it I think a lot of player griefing can happen. That doesn't mean that we can't figure out a way to do it wisely and kindly that will help people come together and have fun doing it.
I think the first step to this is what we're doing right now is we're trying to incentivize the world PvP.
Yeah.
So depending on how that goes, we'll determine if we move closer or further away from adding that kind of feature.
Yeah, there's been other games that have released that had that kind of feature, and I've enjoyed the idea of it myself. So I would be for it. I'm pro it, but at the same time, I can understand why we would say maybe no.
I am definitely pro doing something like that at some point in the future. Like, I think that's something that we'll definitely consider, when looking for more PvP things.
Yeah.
Right now, we'll have to see how open world PvP really
Correct.
happens.
Yeah.
So we don't have the player base, and if it would almost have to be an opt-in system to make sure that those people can't unflag
Yeah.
as well. So there's a couple things that we need to make sure that to protect the person playing it, that is a hunter versus a person that is the hunted, to make sure that the hunted can't make your experience suck.
Yes, because it could potentially, let's say you have a contract on your head, you go out and you're just minding your merry own business, and 30 people kill you over the span of the only casual time that you have available to play. It makes for a very poor player experience. I know I wouldn't want it, and I can guarantee a lot of people wouldn't want it. But again, it's not something that if we really, really brainstormed it, we couldn't do well, and make sure that doesn't happen. Maybe put caps on it.
At least you would know what it feels like to be popular. Yeah. So like that comment alone like made me like super in favor of it. Yeah. Sorry.
Hey, you know what?
Did this just get dark?
You guys are the designers.
I think we need to get real here.
I'm just the one that brings up the upset player sentiment to you.
Are you Dr. Filling us now?
I am.
It's time to get real.
This could work.
Time to get real.
We lost the show.
New stream Wednesday nights.
Oh wait.
DD Dr. Phil.
DD Dr. Phil. Okay, so.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you're down. I'm not. So there. And do we have any more questions from Cupcakes or Utopia?
I have a couple more written down about multi-queue, arenas, battlegrounds, and maybe PV. Is that coming?
Arenas, battlegrounds,
Multi-queue?
and multi-queue PvP.
There we go.
Yeah.
I know we want it to come.
Yes.
Okay.
Very
We
much.
want it.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
DD cover
We want
your
it.
ears.
No,
Wait,
no.
What did you just say? No.
You know, every time we go to plan new things, we bring up multi-queue.
Yep.
And I can't say when or if, but it's something that we all want.
Yeah.
Badly.
Okay.
Better.
I have a little question.
Yeah, go for it.
It's more of a request. We would like to get some recognition of killing dominions, maybe in a way of like some title of how many dominions you've killed or something, because like Exile is the superior faction.
I'm in for that.
So achievements for like.
Yeah. So just to be aware, if we were to do that, like we need to be fair and give them the same thing for killing exiles. Like you're okay with that, right? Yeah.
You,
Like
you
they
think
would
that
probably
could happen?
benefit from that more than the exiles. Just trying to
I
start
want to
something,
see
that's all.
them try.
Hey, I'm yelling Dominion rules in our battleground, so.
Mute this guy.
Yeah, good luck.
Mute this guy. Thank you, Maggie.
So basically, you're asking for an achievement tracker for killing people of the other faction. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say that's pretty
I
reasonable.
think that's very
Yeah.
reasonable. I don't see a problem with that, to be honest. I think that it would actually, that's one of those things that would incentivize PvP.
Now,
And
the question would be on that. Would that start from the date of when you guys started, or would you retroactively look back and see how many people they've already killed?
to retroactively look back is difficult and requires a lot of platform and.
Hey, I gotta ask, man.
it would have to
someone's
be-
gonna ask.
Yeah.
It would have to be
Probably
this
have to be
point
from
on.
the point of
like the
implementation,
point of
yeah.
implementation on, for sure.
Yeah. How much time do we have? Can I play more?
Yeah, you can play more.
Heck
Awesome.
yeah!
Have you won yet?
I won the last two. Come
Yeah.
on.
Oh, that's why he wants to play more, because he's
Yeah.
on this.
He's
He's,
Well,
on,
that
on a
and-
roll.
he's got a stride going.
Yeah, and I'm representing Dominion somehow.
Yeah.
While playing in Exile.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Behind enemy lines.
Yeah,
I
that really
don't,
is.
really
a movie.
believe that.
It
I
was.
think that's just you.
No.
I don't think it's really happening.
Let's do a question from Twitch chat.
Yep.
All right.
Someone's got to take control here.
Tawa would like to know: Will there ever be a buff to how much you earn for doing battlegrounds to encourage them? And they do preface some other stuff, some data that they have. Earning only 2.5 for a battleground win compared to 10% for the arena win is a big difference for gladiator marks, considering how long the battlegrounds take.
I mean, we can definitely look into it. A lot of our concentration has been on trying to compare it to other instances, and then at the same time balance out the gain based on the time it takes to complete, which is unfortunately, and the truth of it all, it is completely just all over the place. That's because everything in PvP is very dynamic, and you start. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I got slaughtered so bad.
Yeah, that was a lot of red.
It was really bad.
That's because the Dominions don't believe you when you say you're representing Exile.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
You gotta prove yourself. Steve.
No, that's the opposite. I represent Dominion.
Whatever. That's what I'm saying.
I
meant that.
I'm a wolf in sheep's clothing. What was the question again? I
Yes.
apologize. So yeah, we balance it around a lot of. We balance each one around the average time it takes to complete, and then also in certain areas, especially arenas, we just expect you to earn certain kinds of currencies more than any other area. But yeah, we can take a look at it and try to make them a little more rewarding, especially as we look at, what kinds of PvP, especially after the merger, are more popular. And we want to base our rewards more around what people are doing and playing and what they're having fun in. Because if you're having fun in something, we want you to do that. We don't want to force you into a certain place because that's the only place to get what you want as well.
Got it.
So, yeah.
Got it.
I hope that's good. Was that good, Tom?
Those were words.
Those were words, yes. Exactly.
Were they good words?
I can say words
I'd say so.
together at some point. I'm not a wordsmith. You know this.
We know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going
Guys,
to
quick
take a few
question.
more questions from each place, and then we have to start wrapping up our show. So let's take a question from our guilds who are running with us right now and are in the middle of killing Steven.
No. I'm trying to
What
kill,
about the
is it
PvP?
Dessa?
Sorry, go ahead, guys.
What about a PvP like area in the open world? Some place where people go in and expect it to work kind of like a battleground. Is that something something to be considered?
It's something that we have definitely, thrown back and forth on what we can do, and it's made a little bit of headway, but I don't know where we're at with that as far as making a solid decision. Essentially, what you're talking about is different zones and stuff like that where
you're just flagged.
Yeah, it would flag you.
No.
I think that is something that we would definitely absolutely look into. Again, those are incentivization things that would encourage more PvP for those who prefer PvP.
Yeah, and we'll look at our engagement numbers as far as the open world stuff that we do, and then try to make a judgment call on something like that.
Yeah.
Speak to this a little bit. So the implementation of what we're doing now with trying to set up more world PvP is going to open the door to stuff like that. The reason we haven't done it yet is because when it comes to kind of organized PvP play, we want to keep that in kind of a very condensed and isolated space so we can try and guarantee it to be as good of an experience as possible, as opposed to there being this massive zone that's just all PvP, and you might go there expecting to have an awesome fight, and then you go there and you have to wander around for 10 minutes because this is a big zone, or you just get stampeded by this giant wave of people. So our major objective when it comes to that kind of stuff is to create a guaranteed space of balance, which is easier to do in a battleground as opposed to an open space. But we'll see how the changes to open world PvP go, and that will open the doors for us a little bit.
I could see one of the things, us doing something. It would be awesome if we could do something to the effect of having these different portions of the zone, but can be gone. You can run through it, but you're going to flag yourself, and it takes longer to run around it. So those are the little things that we can do to kind of tweak the game to make it more possible for a lot more open world PvP.
Right.
Yeah. Next question. Let's take it from our guilds.
Mind if I ask one?
Yeah, go for it.
Do you have any plans on improving the way gear progresses for new?
You cut out a little bit at the end there.
Do you have any plans for changing the way gear progresses for new players?
That was for you, Steven. Did you hear it?
Any plan to change the way that gear progresses in PvP?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
What I'm trying to do right now is wait to see how well this works for open world and see how some other things pan out, because I think we want to. I also think that we want to eventually address PvP offense and defense, or power and defense, I guess. So there are things that we're looking at. It's not going to be in the short term, and we want to see, you know, how well we can perform with the open world stuff and some of this Battleground stuff, and see if we can, you know, maybe make it a little. I apologize. I'm getting slaughtered again. Oh, heals. Yes. Sorry. I get hyper focused.
Having a hard time?
You're having a hard time.
I'm having a hard time. No, but
So,
yes, you put words in my mouth. Do it.
okay, so basically, I can't answer this for you exactly,
Yeah.
but I mean,
No, it's okay.
now answer. Go ahead. Finish your thoughts.
No, we want to see how PvP ends up working out, because some things that we want to address are the discrepancy between PvE progression and PvP progression. We do want to get it more in line, and we're not exactly happy with PvP power and defense. They fill a job that we wanted, but I think towards the future we'll be looking at trying to bring it more in line.
Yeah.
It's going to be another thing that depends on how well the open world PvP stuff goes that we're putting in right now.
Based on like all of these guys' answers and kind of where I'm at when I've heard these things, is essentially we're having to assess a lot in the short term in order to make decisions on how we want to push this PvP, open world PvP, and also gear, taking into consideration how it works in the world and stuff. We really need to look at it. We need to get your feedback on it, and then we need to make our decisions based on that and find a direction where all of our players are happy.
I
like those words.
I guess
Thank
that
you.
ties really well into like a question that was asked in chat by Julrath,
Sure.
1983, and I apologize if I'm saying your name incorrectly. It's a two-part question. One was, when you flag for PvP and kill people, what rewards can I look forward to? And then also the follow-up question was, have you guys considered allowing PvP players to drop an item on death, like a risk versus reward?
That's a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Repeat the first one, because I'm a jerk. Because I heard the second one and I was like, huh.
The first one was, when you flag for PvP and kill people, what rewards can people look forward to?
Right now it's going to be prestige experience, and as we roll this out, we're going to, right now there's a diminishing returns on repeated kills, and that's a protection thing to prevent people from just churning kills on other people. But we're going to look at the balance on that to see if we are churning those people out of being worth of any value. So we're going to look at that as this matures on live. We might adjust the prestige gain from killing people. That's something that we're looking towards. As for dropping things off of players, that might be a good idea if we can find a cool thing to tie into that. I don't know if we actually have the ability to do it easily right now, and in a way that can't be exploited.
Yeah.
So, no, it's actually something that some of my reward systems people brought up, because we had talked about having drops on players, and maybe it's runes or rune fragments and foci, that kind of stuff. And we were talking about that as incentive to do it, but we still need to figure out if that's a good way to pursue. or
Yeah.
a good avenue to pursue.
A lot of people in chat seem like they're not interested in that, or they're afraid like they won't have any gear on if it's a gear drop that drops off them. But if it's like some other item or something, it might be interesting, like a new currency.
Next question. Let's take one last question from our PvP guild and one last question from chat.
I'm gonna leave queue.
Yeah.
You might want to practice that to them because they're not asking anything.
Okay.
Go ahead, Reigns.
Oh yeah, Rains is talking.
Well, I have a couple of, I guess a couple of different things. But are there any plans to revamp PvP rune sets? Are there any plans to do the gear, any class changes or anything like that coming with the next drop?
With the next drop, I mean, there's some minor changes to some of the class stuff. The rune sets are not getting adjusted as far as I remember for the next drop. And
Gear.
what's that?
Any gear.
And any gear. The only gear that I think that we've put in right now is the Arctera stuff.
Okay.
And we finished up the weapons for Season 2 PvP rewards,
Okay.
which will now actually be in game for when we reward them.
Yay.
But nothing right now that's going in specifically for PvP, and that's partly because of the way that instance PvP works, and all that, you know, the way that rallying works in instance PvP. There's no real reason to do any modifications at this point. What I can tell, I don't have an exact date yet, but we're gonna wrap up season 2 soon-ish.
Okay.
Sometime probably after that goes live, the PTR goes live.
Okay.
We're gonna wrap it up and then start making adjustments towards season 3 and the future. Hi.
Hi.
Are you rubbing again?
No, I'm not trying not to. I'm watching
Okay.
it. I'm like,
I thought you were about to start beatboxing. About to. No.
okay, not
actually.
really.
What
I
are
did,
the-
though. Like, I took it to a whole new level.
What are the
Okay, let's
conditions
take
for this?
another question from our Twitch chat, and then
I think they were asking.
are they asking?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead, guys.
Sorry. What are the conditions for the season 2 rewards that public knowledge?
What are
What-
the rewards for season 2, or what are the rewards for season 2? Is it public knowledge?
What do you need to do
We
to get the
posted
rewards?
it. I don't know. I don't remember the exact because I don't have the reward sheet. I believe we posted it months ago.
Yeah.
But it's like top 5% get.
That sounds about right.
Top 5% get the weapon, and then there's a really cool data drifter mount that is given out as well, and a pet, I believe.
Yeah.
I'd have to double check it.
It was posted. I believe we had a news post on it, and we also
Yep.
had a forums post. And it was probably, I want to say it was about a month and a half, 2 months ago.
What was the name of it?
I'm trying to remember. We've had a lot of posts.
I'm sorry.
Um,
Didn't we have a? Sorry,
now, I'm sorry. I just can't remember.
I can't remember offhand exactly what it is. My mind's on Halls of Bloodsworn.
Yeah.
Is it blown? Is your mind blown?
Is it the
It is.
prestige bonus?
That's the double prestige bonus event. No, that's not it. We're talking about our ranking rewards and stuff like that.
If not, we can probably post it. I thought we had an article with it.
We did.
I think it might have been ending season 1 or
Yeah, it was in season 1.5.
Yeah,
but
it
if
would
they
be
are
like
the same.
season 1 or season 2 rewards.
I don't see that.
Can we repost that?
We can. What I can do is Are you guys on the forums at all? Do you post on the forums regularly? I'll find it and I'll go ahead.
Arena in season 2.
Yes,
Yep.
that's the one.
Aha, I found it.
Yay! Maggie found it. She's going to go ahead and post it in chat.
Yes. And then for the question from chat,
Yes.
Cafe con Leche wants to know, will you consider guild versus guild world PvP battles?
That's a really good idea, actually.
I actually like that idea.
Yeah.
It is something that we should aspire to.
Correct. I mean, currently what could happen is, you know, we would have to incentivize that in some way, shape, or form, and we would do that, obviously, to make more, I don't know, maybe a guild achievement of some sort, where you can all group up as a guild, and then you go out and then you do your guild v guild battles. So we would definitely have to look at the mechanics of that and everything. One thing, like, I would be immediately concerned about as a, you know, world PvPer is if I group up with, you know, 30 other people, how would the mechanics, how would the game client read that? You know, is it going to go ahead and read every person within that group? In which case that could cause some performance issues, you know, and whatnot. But you know, I'm not the engineer on that. So
It's also funny because they, you know, as these questions come in, you start thinking about, like, from a design aspect, you start going, well, we wouldn't want them to actually flag because we don't want people to interfere in that unless
Yes.
they intentionally flag. So we would need to do something where you are only hostile to that guild. So in
Yeah.
essence, they would have to switch factions to make that happen. Or they would have to be like a sub-faction. On the back end, I'm thinking this, and I'm like,
So
maybe we should do it. I'm like, it makes me giddy like a kid. I'm
So
sorry.
So there was a suggestion from chat from Azurion was wondering if you could use the Warplot system for something like that.
we could definitely that, and along the lines of the zones too, like the PvP zones, we could do something along the lines of that as well. You know, or even including the Warplot, making it also like maybe an open world arena. Instead, you know, there's multiple
But it seems
ways
like
to do
Cafe
this.
was saying that he would like it to be like open
Yeah.
world, not.
The Warplot, we could definitely, Tom, I think we could probably investigate eventually doing something like that. Because I think the Warplots can kind of support it.
Yeah, we can look into it. Something that we talked about not too long ago, maybe a couple months ago, was the idea of a group duel. So instead of queuing up and needing to go into arena, if you just had a group of friends and you all just wanted to goof around and fight each other, you could do a group duel. If we were to do something like that, we can probably tie this into that somehow and make it so you can duel people from the other faction, but your lives are on the line, so it's more exciting.
Yes. That sounds actually like a really great idea.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up, because that was a pretty good idea. We are going to wrap up the show right now, but we want to do a special thanks to the guilds who ran with Steven and kept him alive.
You should do a screenshot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see a bunch of cupcakes around there. So why don't you guys line up and do a screenshot of Steven and Utopian cupcakes.
Yeah,
How did that happen?
It's because I created Utopian
You created
Cupcake.
Utopian
That would be the
cupcakes.
greatest guild merge name
Yeah,
ever.
Yeah.
I think so.
Utopian Cupcakes.
So we want to yell out or give a shout out to Cupcakes and Utopia for running with us. They're going to go ahead and get a screen grab shot as soon as they all line up and get together. And there we go. That
we
looks great.
haven't got a Chua. Good Vibrations is right there.
Kill him.
Is there a way that you can remove your UI?
Yes.
Yeah.
God, what is it?
Alt Z.
Alt Z. There
That's
you go.
There you
And
go.
then go ahead and do a print screen.
Get a better angle, zoom in.
Yes,
Yeah,
there you
Steven.
go. Here, let me move this out of the way. That'll
There
help
you
a
go.
bit. There we go.
Is that better?
Yeah, that looks good.
It's not perfect. I printed the screen. Here. I'm trying to get everybody.
Trying to get some like
There you
artsy
go.
angles there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Add a filter.
Oh wait, you got to do it again.
Oh my.
The
Oh,
people
God.
moved. They blinked. Oh man.
Wait. And for their sake, let's. Where's
Okay.
good vibrations?
The shot's been
This is
rolling.
going really well.
There we go. I got a print screen with him dead.
Take it now.
Okay,
That'll
good.
make the Exile Guild happy.
That's perfect. So we want to thank you guys for coming along, for enjoying us, for us enjoying you. If you have any questions or suggestions that have not been answered today, you weren't able to bring them up, or you think about them after the show's already over, please go to the forums, post them in the PTR section, so that way we know where they're at, and we can go ahead and get Steven and Tom here to answer them, or I can answer them for you. And we're happy to answer anything that you have after the fact. For the Twitch chat, thank you guys and gals for for listening, for answering, or for asking all your questions and everything, and we really appreciate your attendance, and we love all of you, so thank you for that. We also want you to follow us on all of our social channels. You can get us on Twitter at WildStar. You can also follow us on the forums, ask any questions in the forums, and we will try to get them to the right people and make sure that they're answered appropriately. In addition to that, you can get us on Reddit. The subreddit, WildStar subreddit, is pretty packed full of people all the time who can answer all of your questions and stuff. We also follow us on Twitch. Please follow us on Twitch, because that's periodically we do fun things, and you need to be following us. And we love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any last words from either of you? How about you first?
I just want to say that I'm confusing on social networking. Because on Twitch, I'm CRB single.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
On Reddit, I'm CRB Steven. And on our forums, I'm Meerkat.
We need to train you and just change everything to Meerkat. All of it.
Do we want Meerkat? I actually like single.
Okay, single is... We're not changing you on the forums, though.
Yeah,
If you
I
go
like single. Like, if I could do it all over again, I would just be single.
Oh.
Wait.
Yeah. Wah, wah. Okay, Tom, to you.
I just want to say you're never going to be single as long as I'm around. I got your back. Yeah.
Thanks, Bob.
We, the collective
It
us.
went-
Thanks.
Right?
it
You,
went
Twitch
there.
chat.
You are part of my homie.
Yeah.
Just like her urban youth, she had homies.
Part of the homie.
I didn't have it. I grew
You know
up
what?
in the mountains.
How about we leave the slang talk to the young person
yeah.
on the panel?
Please
Right?
go test the content. You can catch out Halls of the Bloodsworn, the reloaded version, on PTR right now. In addition to all of the fun things that are on PTR, give us all your feedback in the PTR forums. We appreciate you, we love you, and we hope that you have a nice week. And until next week, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Thank you guys from us as well.